Here is the chart of cultivation realms to help you understand better. If you find it interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hype the video for me. Thank you, everyone. Transcending reincarnation, Wang Lin stepped into the supreme Kui Nie Realm, Nirvana, carrying a might capable of overturning the heavens and earth, and returned openly to the All-Seer's sect. The entire sect was shaken, divine senses of countless experts intertwined in fear, exclaiming, "This man is no longer a dragon trapped in a pond." His former fellow disciples were all struck dumb. Even sword sovereign Ling Tianhou was horrified. "His Tao has already surpassed my sword intent." His fourth senior sister Zhao Xinmeng, who had once entrusted her heart to Wang Lin, now saw that upon his return to the sect, he had already become the direct disciple of the All-Seer Tian Yun Zi. Not only that he had been taught the supreme immortal art, the celestial slaughter art, before being sent into the land of monster spirits to temper himself, yet the All-Seer's true intent was merely to wait for Wang Lin to grow strong, only to devour him later to achieve his own perfection. Wang Lin himself gradually realized this secret. Thus, within the land of monster spirits, he defied the sect to seek a way of escape. It was there he fortuitously obtained the Immortal Emperor's token, granting him the authority to open the cave abode of the Qinglin Immortal Emperor. Because of this fateful encounter, Wang Lin was forced into a mysterious black vortex, drifting into the all-heaven star domain. In that unfamiliar land, he fought his way forward, his cultivation advancing at a terrifying pace. By the time war erupted between the all-heaven star domain and the Alliance star domain, Wang Lin had already returned to the heaven-defying planet. His cultivation then had reached the early Kui Nie Realm, enough to confront experts of the pure Nirvana realm. He no longer feared the All-Seer. Even if he might not yet be his opponent, at the very least preserving his life was no longer difficult. The All-Seer had long calculated this day, knowing Wang Lin would appear. On the sect's main square, countless cultivators gathered, waiting only for him so they could seize the Immortal Emperor's token. Bai Wei lifted her head toward the sky, her heart in turmoil, hardly able to believe what her old acquaintance had become. Beside her, her senior brother Zhao Tingsan glared with eyes full of hatred. Over the years, he had broken through to the Ascendant Realm and even stepped into the Yin Void Realm, absolutely confident he was no weaker than Wang Lin. In another corner, the fourth senior sister, who once had been forced to join in betraying Wang Lin, still carried deep guilt, though she had given him the great teleportation technique in compensation. Further away, the blue-robed youth Sima Rufeng, who had taken part in that encirclement years ago, was quietly observing. At this moment, everyone in the sect who once knew Wang Lin harbored different thoughts, yet almost none believed he could leave alive. Amidst 10,000 gazes fixed on the horizon, a figure in white robes walked leisurely forward, black hair fluttering his bearing unrestrained. It was Wang Lin. Many immediately recognized him. Even Ling Tianhou, though outwardly calm, was inwardly shaken to the core. Wang Lin had indeed reached the Kui Nie Realm. Between his brows gleamed an extraordinary mark, signifying a fortuitous encounter beyond imagination. Several elders revealed astonishment mixed with contemplation. Someone whispered, "That is the vermilion bird mark." Wang Lin calmly bowed to the All-Seer, but the latter's eyes flashed as he returned a gentle reply, only reminding that some seniors had questions for him. Just then, behind Ling Tianhou, a middle-aged man shouted, accusing Wang Lin of having slaughtered disciples of the Great Luo Sword Sect in the land of monster spirits, leaving only one of the 12 sword children alive. Wang Lin cast him a calm glance and asked coldly, "What right do you have to speak to me in such a manner?" Though Ling Tianhou's face was dark, he restrained the man while admitting his own unwillingness to accept that Wang Lin, in just a few hundred years, had reached his current realm. These words left the crowd shaken. Bai Wei was stunned. Zhao Tingsan stood dumbfounded. None had ever imagined Wang Lin's progress could be so fast. Several elders began pressing him about the land of monster spirits, especially the matter of the Immortal Emperor's token. Wang Lin admitted without hesitation that he had indeed seized it back then, but explained it was solely to preserve his life, leaving him no choice but to flee. This answer immediately sent tension skyrocketing. Greed and wariness flashed in the eyes of the old monsters present. Some directly threatened him to hand it over. Murderous intent erupted from Ling Tianhou as he suddenly attacked. Wang Lin calmly countered his punch, unleashing swirling black mist, accompanied by thunderous explosions, colliding head-on with sword qi. At that instant, the All-Seer intervened gently, dissolving both sides' attacks. A seven-colored wind swept across, restoring calm. His voice remained gentle, yet carried authority, reminding Ling Tianhou that this was still the domain of the All-Seer's sect. But Ling Tianhou was not one to stop easily. He roared, questioning whether the All-Seer intended to monopolize the Immortal Emperor's token. The All-Seer responded with serene firmness, declaring that so long as Wang Lin had not betrayed the sect, he remained its disciple, and none were permitted to strike him at will. Still, Ling Tianhou refused to relent. Citing the countless disciples of the Great Luo Sword Sect who had died by Wang Lin's hand, he demanded Wang Lin take 3 strikes of sword qi to sever old grudges. At the same time, he openly declared his stance toward the All-Seer. If obstructed further, he would risk another war. Before this impasse, Wang Lin remained calm as ever. First sword qi, burst forth like a dragon, its power tearing at the sky. Wang Lin focused his divine sense, meeting it with a punch. Space trembled. He only retreated 2 steps, his expression still tranquil. Second sword sharper and more fierce than before. Wang Lin advanced instead of retreating, laughing aloud, his fist sweeping out as starlight flashed between his brows. At the same time, 27 flying swords manifested, forming a sword formation that roared toward Ling Tianhou. The square shook violently. Even the All-Seer was secretly astonished. Third sword Ling Tianhou held nothing back, unleashing his supreme divine ability, as 4 nascent spirit swords fused into one, striking straight at Wang Lin. Wang Lin was unshaken, summoning more swords, 45 in total, forming a swirling sword vortex, while simultaneously executing the celestial severing technique, Zhan La Art. If not for the All-Seer's timely intervention to protect the surroundings, the entire heaven-defying planet might have been torn apart. In the end, Wang Lin was forced back, but Ling Tianhou's sword light was also shattered. Ling Tianhou did not strike again. Instead, he laughed loudly, proclaiming that from this day forth, the enmity between him, the Great Luo Sword Sect, and Wang Lin was erased. He acknowledged Wang Lin's qualification to hold the Immortal Emperor's token, and that in the future they could together explore the Immortal Emperor's abode. With that, he led his disciples away. Wang Lin understood Ling Tianhou's actions carried hidden motives, but now was not the time to pursue them. The gathered cultivators were all shaken. Bai Wei was moved to tears. Zhao Tingsan's face turned ashen, no longer daring to stir trouble. Even the usually aloof 4th senior sister revealed wavering eyes, her heart stirring with a desire for help. None of them could reconcile the youth they once knew with the white-robed cultivator now standing as Ling Tianhou's equal. The other old monsters departed one after another, some inviting Wang Lin as a guest, others offering pointers in cultivation, all regarding him now as a peer. When the square finally emptied, only the All-Seer and Wang Lin remained. After a moment of silence, the All-Seer asked about his future plans. Wang Lin respectfully replied that he wished to return to the land of monster spirits. The All-Seer nodded, saying he was fully qualified, even revealing that Wang Lin was not only the true Thunder Immortal of the All-Heaven lineage, but also one of the 3 chosen inheritors of the vermilion bird lineage of the Four Saints sect. Hearing this, Wang Lin remained silent. He had never before understood the matter of the vermilion bird inheritance, but his expression unchanged. He only engraved it deeply in his heart. Back in the Purple Forest Pavilion, he sat gazing at the oil lamp flickering in the wind, its light alternating bright and dim, just like the All-Seer himself, sometimes clear, sometimes illusory, as if countless incarnations were hidden within a single body. As he pondered, soft footsteps sounded outside the door. A woman in light purple robes appeared. Her familiar face revealed it was his 4th senior sister. Her eyes complex, she hesitated for a moment before softly speaking. "Wang Lin, you truly have returned." Wang Lin turned, his expression calm. He bore little resentment toward her. Back then, she had been forced by Zhao Tingzan, and afterward had given him the great teleportation as compensation. He simply nodded, saying nothing. She entered, glanced around, and after a long silence spoke softly. Over the years, countless rumors had spread in the sect. Some said he had long perished. Others that he had become a great demon. Seeing him alive, she realized all had been false. Wang Lin gave a faint smile. The words of the world are a blend of truth and lies. Why bother to care? She sighed, warning that Zhao Xinmeng had already reached the Yin Void realm. Though today he did not dare make a move, his nature meant he would not easily let things rest, and Wang Lin should be careful. Wang Lin nodded. He had long since understood this, but he no longer cared about Zhao Xinmeng's grudges. He was no longer the weak cultivator of the past. She lingered a moment longer as if wishing to say more, but finally only bowed lightly before leaving, her figure vanishing into the silent night as though she had never been there. Closing the door, Wang Lin walked to the window. As dawn approached, the voice of Zhao Xinmeng sounded again from outside. Heavy with hesitation and hidden unease, Wang Lin calmly invited her in. She sat quietly on a chair, eyes vacant. As she stared ahead, silent so long one might forget she was present. Then Wang Lin suddenly sensed a thread of divine sense, as thin as silk, emerging from the center of her brow, cautiously probing toward him. Just as it was about to touch him, Wang Lin abruptly opened his eyes, light flashing within. Zhao Xinmeng's divine sense froze instantly in mid-air, unable to move an inch. Her face paled, for she knew that if it advanced a little further, her spiritual sense would be completely devoured. When Wang Lin relaxed his pressure, she retracted it and lifted her head weary. He frowned slightly, asking what troubled her. Zhao Xinmeng whispered that Wang Lin had already reached the second step, but wondered if he was not concerned about dangers within the All-Seer's sect. Her voice grew softer, saying that if he had remained within the sect for 100 years after back then, he might have vanished without a trace. She urged him to note that aside from the All-Seer himself, though the sect had thousands of disciples and 7 orthodox branches of inheritance, none had reached the Yin Void realm. Wang Lin listened silently, expression solemn. Zhao Xinmeng continued. Whenever someone broke through to the pinnacle and stepped into the Yin Void realm, within less than a year they would disappear without a sound. This was a forbidden truth within the sect. Back then, Wang Lin's cultivation was too shallow to know this. Seeing him remain silent now, she grew anxious. He then asked directly, "Is this the reason why you carry 6 seals within your body?" Zhao Xinmeng gave a bitter smile, admitting she had no other choice. Her life soul rested in the All-Seer's hand. She could never escape. Even if she fled with a single thought from her master, her soul would shatter death inevitable no matter where she hid. She confessed that many other fellow disciples lived the same way, sealing themselves, but none dared release the seals. For once the seals opened, even if resealed within a year, they would mysteriously vanish. Even if cultivation waned due to conflict, once concealment of realm was involved, fate would inevitably bring doom. Her face revealed stark fear as she recalled the All-Seer neither stopped nor interfered. Acting as if unaware, yet every time a seal opened, calamity struck. 500 years ago, a disciple of the Orange Branch, when his seal reached its limit, was forced to open it. The very next day, he disappeared without a trace. Concealing cultivation could not last forever. One day it would collapse. Such existence had become unbearable for her. 100 years ago, her seals had begun loosening, and recently she could no longer suppress them. Tears streamed down her cheeks as Zhao Xinmeng pleaded with Wang Lin to save her, begging him to help reinforce the seals so that her cultivation could remain forever at the late stage. She moved as if to kneel in gratitude, but Wang Lin gently lifted her with soft force, solemnly promising to consider her requests. After a long silence, Zhao Xinmeng confessed further, though her cultivation was not high, she had preserved her purity for 1,000 years. If Wang Lin would help reinforce her seals, she was willing to offer him her 1,000-year maiden yin. Blushing deeply, she rolled up her sleeve, revealing the Kung Sa chastity mark symbolizing chastity upon her arm. Biting her lip, she pulled her robe lower, casting him a sidelong glance before hastily turning to leave. In her heart, she whispered, "This may be my final hope." She believed Wang Lin strong enough to contend with Ling Tianhou, proof that he had likely already reached the pure nirvana realm, far beyond ordinary cultivators. If he agreed, he could completely suppress the seals within her body. But she also knew that if she sought anyone else under the shadow of the All-Seer, no one would dare interfere. Alone in his chamber, Wang Lin contemplated the matter gravely. He realized that helping Zhao Xinmeng was not inherently difficult, yet doing so would surely incur his master's displeasure. He also guessed her words were true. The All-Seer's indifference to the seals must conceal a deeper reason.